AJ Styles is one of the best wrestlers of all time, a Hall of Famer. And let's go back at his run when he made his debut. His 1 year run from Royal Rumble to Royal Rumble and how he did. So to really understand it, let's go to the beginning. Let me talk about how he's a legend in TNA. Like if you ever ask anybody who's the Mount Rushmore of TNA, they're gonna give you AJ Styles for sure. Like he's that good, that prominent in TNA. Like everybody loves him in TNA. He's like the biggest star. Imagine all that. You're hearing Mount Rushmore of TNA. Imagine how the WWE felt when they gave him a contract and wanted to hire him. But there is only one problem. Vince doesn't treat indie people and they suck. That's the way he treats them. He treats them like they aren't good and they need time to develop in the WWE before getting pushed. Imagine what AJ Styles thought. He was not going to get pushed. He wasn't going to get used correctly just because Vince doubted him. Even though Vince knew that he was a TNA legend, a Hall of Famer over there, a Mount Rushmore type of guy. Like he's that good. And let me tell you, he really proved Vince wrong. Let me show you these 6 parts slash wrestling moments in that full year. And I'll talk about the Rumble, Chris Jericho, Roman Reigns, John Cena, Dean Ambrose, and I'll wait to show you the last one because the last one is crazy and very insane. In his debut, he was crazy and the crowd was loud. And Vince was surprised that the crowd was so loud and was cheering for him. And Vince doubted him before that. AJ Styles, you know what AJ Styles does. He eliminated Curtis Axel. And AJ Styles lasted almost like 30 minutes before being eliminated by Kevin Owens. Like he was doing really good in that Royal Rumble. But now to Chris Jericho, they had WrestleMania match, but they have a little, back and forth, not a storyline. They're going back and forth, fighting each other, talking, crap about each other in promos. But the WrestleMania match was mid. It wasn't that good. It wasn't the best AJ Styles match, but AJ Styles looked like a boss, And he was doing good, but he lost to Chris Jericho. Even though the match wasn't that good, you could tell AJ Styles was a star and was going to be something good for the WWE. But then something good happened. A fatal 4-way match. Number 1 contenders. And he won it. And he's facing the big dog, Roman Reigns. So at first he fought him at Payback. He was so close to winning. He was going back and forth. Really, really good match. But no, AJ Styles loses. And then in Extreme Rules, he doesn't win the title again. Even though he showed some good flashes and showed Vince that he's one of the best wrestlers in this company. Vince didn't want to, believe in him or didn't want to trust him. Why would you trust someone that has barely had any WWE experience? He has a lot of indies experience, but, not WWE. And the matches were good. You could tell, but everybody hated Roman Reigns at that time. So I guess that was the only bad thing about that. Now, let me just talk about my favorites, my favorite feud around this time, my favorite rivalry. It was John Cena versus AJ Styles. What an amazing rivalry. First, he goes against John Cena in Money in the Bank. Really good match. He wins, but he doesn't really win just by, actually defeating him. The club get interrupt him and, things happen. Even though John Cena lost, you could tell they still wanted, to fight each other and they saw a rivalry and they still wanted to fight each other to see how. And then after that, they go back and fight at SummerSlam. Even better match. That match was insane. But that one was a really good match. John Cena versus AJ Styles at SummerSlam. Money making. The match was good. They're going back and forth, hitting the Styles Clash. He's hitting his AAs. But at the end of the day, AJ Styles won. And that was showing everybody that he's one of the top dogs in the company. One of the main players. And everybody, even the fans were loving it. He is someone, here to stay. The Royal Rumble, everybody was iffy about him. Jericho, they're more iffy. Roman Reigns, they're getting to know him. After John Cena, the best thing ever. And then after that, let me go to the next one. Dean Ambrose. That's where he had a rivalry with Dean Ambrose. I guess James Ellsworth was in there, but it was mostly with Dean Ambrose. And then out of nowhere, at Backlash, he wins the title off of Dean Ambrose. What an amazing match. You could tell that AJ Styles was putting so much work and so much heart into this. And he was just the best thing. I felt really happy watching that myself just because how much I was invested into AJ Styles. And that match was real good. I felt bad for Dean Ambrose because his title run was a little bit short, but and then after that, they kept feuding with James Ellsworth, him and Dean, going back and forth. And then they fight again at No Mercy, but John Cena was added. Triple threat, barely survives and wins that match. He was about to lose to John Cena with the STF, but no, he comes back and wins the match. Dean Ambrose wants another match because that wasn't fair that they had a triple threat match. He wanted a one-on-one match at TLC. And at the end of the day, you know what happens? Going back and forth, trying to win the match, trying to see who's the better man, and AJ Styles wins. What an amazing match, He's just been having bangers after bangers after bangers after bangers. And this is all less than a year in his debut. But finally, the thing I've been keeping away from y'all, the last one is John Cena again. I know, but it's again. Where they fought at was the Royal Rumble. This is AJ Styles' 1 year mark. And that match was amazing. And the best thing I've ever watched. You should go watch it. It's on YouTube. That good. And the best part is when John Cena hits his AA off the top rope. And then after that, pins him 1, 2, 3. AJ Styles loses the title. So in 1 year, has a rivalry with John Cena, fights Roman Reigns, has a WrestleMania match, loses though, and wins the title and main events Royal Rumble. He was the best. An amazing 1 year debut. I can't name anyone better. Brock Lesnar had a pretty good debut, but it wasn't as exciting as watching AJ Styles go back and forth, winning every match, doing his best. He was the best thing SmackDown had just because AJ Styles was that guy. In my opinion, I'll give you this. The best debut ever. He fought Braun Strowman one day, and I don't know if you remember it. It was a U.S. title match. Let me get away from that. I don't know if you know this. Braun Strowman fell twice in the WWE. Once with Vince and the other time with Triple H. And if you want to hear about that story and want to hear that how they mistreated him, click here. Deuces.